In the previous video which I had uploaded in the YouTube, I had basically discussed about the meaning of the word constitution, and we had got to know that the constitution is the supreme law of the land, and constitution basically means a set of rules and regulations according to which a state or a country is governed. We also got to know how the Constitution of India came into existence. The Indian Constitution, it was enacted and adopted on 26th November 1949, and it came into force on 26th January 1950. Today we shall be discussing about the preamble to the Indian Constitution, and we shall also be learning about the 5 important terms that have been added to the preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. We shall also be learning about the 4 objectives which the Constitution of India aims to achieve, that is justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. But before doing this, let's begin with the word preamble. Now, preamble means something that comes before. Okay? Now, the Indian Constitution has a preamble before it. That means the Indian Constitution has a preamble before it, and the preamble, in short, describes the Constitution of India. That means it gives a short introduction to the Constitution of India. The preamble is an introduction to a legal document, that is the Constitution. The preamble is said to be the soul of the Indian Constitution and is an inseparable part of the Constitution. The preamble begins with the word "We, the people of India," which means that people in India have the real powers. Okay, they are the real source of powers, and they are the ones who have made this constitution for India. Now let's discuss the five terms which are included in the preamble to the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. Sovereign. Now, a sovereign state is one which is internally and externally free from external interference. India, as a sovereign country, does not depend upon any external powers to make its internal and external laws. That means India can make her own internal and external policies as well as laws. Coming to the second important term, that is socialist. The Indian Constitution aims to achieve the ideals of a socialist state. Now, the Indian Constitution, in order to achieve the ideals of a socialist state, believes in fair distribution of wealth and tries to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. By doing so, the Indian government basically works for the welfare of the Indian people. The third term that we come across that is added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 is the word secular. Now, whenever we tell secular, we basically mean that in India there is no official religion. The citizens of India are free to practice, profess, and propagate the religion of their own choice. The Indian government does not participate in any religious activities that is conducted by any religious community. Furthermore, in India, you do not have any state religion. The fourth term that we are going to discuss today is the word democratic. Now, whenever I say democratic, first we should be knowing the meaning of the term democratic government. Democratic government is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In India, The people actively participate in the governance of the country at the union level, state level, and at the local level. The people of India basically follow the principles of universal adult franchise to choose the candidate of their own choice when the voting takes place in India. That is, people who are 18 years and above can vote for the candidate of his or her own choice. Elections in India is conducted after every 5 years. The fifth term that is added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution is the word republic. In India, we have an elected head. That means India is a republican state, which means that India has an elected head. That is, the president of India is basically elected for a period of 5 years, and the post of the president is not hereditary, which means that the son of a president will not become a president in terms of hereditary conditions. Yes, he or she, that means the son of a president or daughter of a president, can become the president only if he or she contests an election to the post of the president and wins that particular elections. Elections to the post of the president is held after every 5 years. Now students, let's have a look at the four objectives of the Indian Constitution. Objective number one, justice. The Constitution of India aims to secure justice for each and every individual living in India. Now, whenever we talk about justice, we all should be knowing that everyone is equal before law. That means everyone is equal in the eyes of law, irrespective to what their caste is, irrespective to what their gender is, what the color of their skin is, etc. Simple meaning of this, let's take an example. If two people commit the same crime, the laws by which they will be dealing is also going to be same. Liberty, that is the second objective which the Constitution of India aims to achieve. Now, what do you mean by the term liberty? Liberty means personal freedom. In India, you are given different type of freedom under Article 19. Some of the freedoms granted to the Indian citizens are freedom of movement, thought, speech and expression, freedom to choose the religion of their own choice, and other freedoms as well, like freedom to reside anywhere in India or freedom to do the business which one likes. Next, coming to the third objective that is very important is equality. In India, we basically follow the concept of right to equality. Right to equality in India is given under Article 14 to Article 18. Every Indian citizen is treated equally. Now, when this equal treatment is done, we make sure that no one is discriminated. That means no discrimination of any type follows in India. That means whoever you are, whatever you are, and whatever your stature is, whatever your position is, you are going to be treated equally. In India, there is abolition of untouchability and there is abolition of titles to bring the concept of equality. Fourth objective which the Constitution of India aims to achieve is the concept of fraternity. Is the objective of fraternity. Objective means universal brotherhood of mankind. We all know that living in India, we live in a country which is highly diversified in nature. People in India belong to different castes. They speak different languages, they follow different religion and belong to different community, but still in India we live together as human beings. But in order to ensure unity in diversity, we all should be having a feeling of brotherhood. That means we should be having the feeling of fraternity towards one another. Without having the concept of brotherhood, we will not be tolerant to one another. That means this concept of fraternity or brotherhood basically helps in the progress of India and the Indians. Finally, students, with this, we come to an end of the chapter, the Constitution of India. But students, we all will have to understand that once this Constitution of India is there, we have our fundamental rights that the Constitution of India gives us to enjoy for our personal development. Okay, it helps us. These fundamental rights are very important for the all-round development of an individual, but we as Indian citizens should also be knowing about the fundamental duties which the Indian Constitution speaks of. These fundamental duties are, means, like, let's say, obligatory duties which we as the citizens of India should be doing in order to make India a better country. Thank you everyone. Stay at home, stay safe.